Already we have our first team in Apex decided. It will be X6, and now we're moving into to find out who our second team will be. Will Conbox Spirit retain their spot, or will it be taken from them by Rhinos Gaming Wings? That's what we're here to find out, Papa Smithy.
Yeah, both these teams dominated an MVP squad. For Spirit, it was Space. For Rhinos Gaming, it was Infinity. No games dropped between the two of them. No maps dropped even, so hard to rate. Spirit, to me, were the most impressive team I saw yesterday from my watching, so I come in hyping them, and I just want to see some more Sombra.
I want to see Twilight Sombra again. The question is this something they used because they wanted to experiment a little bit? They knew they were massively the favorites in that match against MVP, or is it something they think is going to become a staple, become the norm on these maps? Our map pool today, similar enough to where we could end up on Oasis, and Hanamura is still in the pool as well, so they could use that defensively on that second capture point. That was really the story of yesterday's matches. That, and of course, how dominant their games are. Super quick games, one of our fastest series of the tournament so far. So that dominance obviously is going to be a little bit tougher against a team like Wings that's a much stronger team. The MVP team is historically very weak, especially Space, mind you. Infinity had a close run, or a good run, last split of the promotions, but then failed really hard in Apex. So it's hard to really judge where these two teams are at based on their performance against the MVP teams with 2 3-0s, but now we're going to really test them against each other. So this should be a much better series than what we've seen from them before in terms of like a close series and not just basically a stop.
And my jumping off point is back again to the Sombra, and you asking the question about, is it a new thing or is it a gimmick? And I'm inclined to go with the former, just because the moment that we see these players improving their champion pools, I feel like when it comes to hero pools, having things like a Reinhardt-only player, that's not really a thing anymore. It feels like Reinhardt-Winston is the minimum. And then, you know, you had Luna, who was the first person to flex from Ana over to the Sombra on defense in a couple of games. And I think that will come increasingly the part where players will have to have big hero pools to actually just justify a starting spot.
I know it's not being shown on our camera right now. I just noticed the shots of the crowd here. We actually have a ton of fans on both sides. Spirit fans bringing the flag, the banner that they brought yesterday, and a bunch of fans, of course, of Wings, especially Oxo, it seems to be in the crowd. So maybe we'll see some shots of that for you guys a little bit later. But I just wanted to, again, bring into the story, because everyone who watched Apex Finals is like, oh my God, the fangirls are real.
Lunatic High especially.
Lunatic High especially, but Runaway still an almost entirely female crowd, right? And the energy was really high. And a lot of people think, it's probably just for the top teams. But even here in our Super Week, during promotions, we have fans for, this team that has just come up from Challengers, didn't even play in Apex last season. And, of course, the Conbox fans coming back as well. So this is exciting already to me, so early in Overwatch's esports life in Korea, to have this many fans coming down for a match such as this. This early, it's like 4:08 p.m. on a Wednesday. People are skipping school for this, you know.
Continue your anecdote, though, about the fans. The other thing that we noticed when we got to the stadium for the Apex final,
I know where this
we need to go to the bathroom, that's just how it is. The line for the female bathroom, massive. The line for the male bathroom, absolutely.
We were the only ones in there.
That's the crazy thing is that, you look at other regions, it's definitely a very male-dominated thing, esports, but especially the fandom in Korea, a lot of female fans.
Yeah, especially, even in other esports like StarCraft and League, it's almost
It does change esport to esport. Hearthstone, when I cast that, was pretty much the same, about a 50-50 split, but fangirls love them some Overwatch, and the first squad we'll look at is Conbox Spirit. Coming from League of Legends myself, I see my man Gamsu. He's been doing well, even if his team around him, losing Zunba, really had a lower performance in Apex Season 2.
Is Winston really, really good? Assists with their dive. It's going to be Architect, who's actually replacing their old Genji member. So coming in with a slightly different roster here, actually replacing Myunghoon, who was the Genji player before. Seems to be a more consistent Genji. Their attacks have been crisp. Their control point was dominated by the Tracer play on Oasis. We don't know if we'll go to that map, but it's not necessarily an Oasis exclusive strategy. We just don't know yet. We've only seen it from this team. So Twilight showed already some weakness on the Ana, but already now adapting into this Sombra is a really great strength for him. And that's what we really want to follow here, is how well he plays when he has to go back to the Ana versus when he had those amazing EMPs yesterday.
And it was Sleepy Bear coming in to replace Zunba. I think their tank line is still what they're built on, but seeing the DPS and now even the flex of Twilight gives you some hope that they can evolve new strategies to move forward. Let's move on to the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings, which, like you say, the ease to which they beat MVP Infinity. I thought that was going to be a much closer series given Infinity's close matches in Apex. leaves them still shrouded in a lot of mystery. They didn't play any Zenyatta. They have a lot of flexible members, but apart from that, all we can say is that clearly this squad is very good.
Yeah, no, Achilles and I talked about Fury yesterday, the really, really good Diva player as potentially being Chinese, in fact, because that was how he's listed on many different websites. It's not, in fact,
it's a lie.
I confirmed he is, in fact, Korean, so perhaps a mix-up there. But just wanted to give that info to you guys as we go into our first map. Will we see the Oasis again?
Give me some Ilios.
Oh, Lijiang.
Okay. First Lijiang Tower.
Definitely a lot tougher of a map to pull off the EMPs. You can still harass. Go into Night Market, for example, swing around the other side. There's a lot of health packs to hack Night Market as well. Control Tower, you can see even the high ground EMP coming down if you can control
You're
that
seeing
zone.
Sombras where they don't exist, Wolf. I'm not sure we're going to see as much Sombra as we're both hoping for, but there's always a chance.
I mean, I'm really just grasping at straws here, but I'm hoping for it. As they made it work on Hanamura where I didn't think they would either. So who knows? All we really saw is the Hanamura defense and the control point on Oasis. As we move into this one, Oxo with some very impressive Tracer yesterday on control point, so look out for that one. He can pull the McCree out depending on which Lijiang we end up on. Might not even see all three if this ends up being a one-sided series. Conbox the favorites here. Will they be able to maintain their apex spot? They're going to this best of 5 to try to take it back right away. We're starting things off on Lijiang Tower.
I get it.
Okay, Lijiang Tower starting off on Control Tower here as we jump into our very first map of this best of 5.
Well, some fan shrieks coming through here, cheering on their squads. Well, we finally find out what's in the contents box, Wolf, as I found out recently that Conbox stands for contents box. My first thought was that it was a Korean version of Loot Crate, but I found out that's not true.
Well, that's a shame. Well, I first thought it was just a box of con artists. They were trying to be tricky. They're just coming in trying to throw people up. Oh! You see that? Oh, there's a Marine fan here. That's really cool and all, but I saw that Sombra flashing for a second on Twilight. He's flashing it. He doesn't keep it, though. Sadly goes to the Ana.
And the Ana play was the side of Twilight's champion pool, or hero pool, that was criticized, so we'll see if he's more on form. That looked great. Yes, Oxo's already dead. It's just a very quick pick for Conbox Spirit.
Yeah, very easily done here for Architect, getting that pick. He's been very consistent on the Genji so far. Remember, against an easier opponent than what they face here in Wings, but already that pick showing his expertise, building up that Dragon Blade now. As the control point is now active. A nice sleep onto Architect, though, actually going to catch him here, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 as Gamsu picks up the kill onto Umte. Sleeper Bear not on his Roadhog this time, sticking with the Zarya.
Watching here, building up charge, trying to microwave down the Roadhog. So far, pretty damn successful. They take him down. That's the front line down for Rhinos Gaming's Wings. And there's the first capture.
So they're using the Reinhardt here, of course, with all these choke points. It's really useful to have that shield. Not going to stick with the Winston with the Genji, but still Architect doing very well. Zuyabear is so known for his hooks on the Roadhog, which we do see Envy running here, but he's already built up quite a bit of that Graviton Surge, which they can now use defensively to keep this control meter pulling.
Asher almost taken down, a single headshot there from Oxo, but backs away. We're seeing Umte inch onto the point. Shield is now down. First pick is onto Asher. We already saw was DPS down. There's Architect Nano Blade ready to go. At the 1K, 2K, Ana and Roadhog both taken down. And this should be the claim. They didn't even have to overinvest. They keep up the Graviton Surge, although as I say it,
yep, they actually invest it now, which feels wholly unnecessary, but with how quickly Sleepy Bear built it earlier, I can't really fault them. They're going to get the late respawn kill onto a Gape here, as Architect yawns with how easy that Dragon Blade was to pull off. Oxo killed, by the way, mid Deadeye, so he didn't actually get to use that, but he wasted it instead. So Wings don't really have a whole lot of ults to work with here. Aggressively using the Graviton Surge is never easy on attack.
And if you use that, it feels like the McCree is more set up to deal defensively with the Genji. Speaking of McCree, was taken down pretty low. We're watching Asher. First pick is Architect onto the Lucio.
Gamsu just going to commit the Earth Shadow there to grab the kill. Architect picks the third kill onto Mango.
No heals left. So.
And he does it without the Dragon Blade this time. Picks up 3. And suddenly, Wings are looking for perhaps their last push right now. They're going to have the sound barrier. They're going to have to force this with the Earth Shatter.
I just feel like their setup, specifically around their supports, have been pretty poor. One of Agape and Mango has spent the whole game dead. Oxo on the McCree as an answer to Genji hasn't worked. They're going to go for an emergency answer. Here's the ultimate here. The Graviton Surge gets multiple members, but no kills yet.
Already the perfect shield coming up for Gamsu. He does get charged and killed, though. Sleepy Bear is down as well. Several ults used here for the Wings to actually retake this, and it looks like they will get it without having to use that Earth Shatter. So Umte will hold on to it for now. Nano Boost nearly ready as well, so it's going to be a long hold they need to secure this first point, but they at least were able to take that one fight, and they didn't have to do it with a lot of ults, so that's
getting to
important.
99 with soon-to-be Nano Blade. Only thing far away is the Graviton Surge.
Not even that far away, realistically, at 67%. Can absolutely get it up with just a little bit more time. They have so much time to work with to just right-click, drop those grenades and those pulses. Asher has his, hold that thought. Architect going to get knocked down here by the Earth Shatter. This is why it's important. Umte kept that. But important again, I just have to keep highlighting this. No ults used for Conbox, so despite the fact that our Wings use this ult to defend, the next push is going to be the scary one.
But still consider the value. Just the Earth Shatter basically wipes out Conbox. That's the definition of ult efficiency and conservation of ultimates there. We still will soon see the big investment. This is it. It's already the Dragon Blade invested.
Okay, Gamsu gets one kill here. Slept again. There's a pulse to secure the kill. Oxo with a nice one here. As all ults used for Conbox. They do trade it 2 for 2. So they end up being a third kill onto Conbox. I don't think they're going to be able to take with this, unfortunately. And all their resources were spent. Gamsu's going to come back up with ult, but feels too little too late at this point.
Massive sleep coming through there from Mango is what stopped Conbox with a 5 ult push from getting even a tick onto the control. So this is now an emergency. Gamsu needs to do an Umte impression and get a really big ultimate.
He's going to look for it here. Gets 2. The barrier protects the enemy, Reinhardt. Looks like Envy's actually going to be able to heal himself up with the help of that biotic grenade. Asher comes in for the pulse. Still unable to secure the kill here as Conbox is going to force this into overtime. Or will they? The Graviton Surge goes down. Sleepy Bear and Mango both dead here.
No DPS left on the side of Conbox. Only Twilight and Reinhardt available. They're just trying to force overtime for as long as possible. Needs to get on the point. Finally does again. Gamsu, very tanky, but charges off. He's dead. This could be the hopes for Conbox gone. Looking for someone to stop it. Can't do. And Rhinos Gaming turns it around from 99%. One sleep dot separated the retake for Conbox. Nice stuff from Rhino.
As you aptly pointed out, the very efficient Umte Earth Shatter there as well bought them the time to build those additional ults to have another setup. That plus a sleep dart. Whenever you see a sleep on a Nano Blade, it's a short cooldown ability that Auto has, which is insanely difficult to hit. But if you have that precision, you waste so much time, you waste so much energy that was built up for this one moment. It's all ends in a flash.
That's why you remember. To me, my biggest memories are not the Beyblades. They're not the big AoE spam. One of my favorite Overwatch plays was on Sanctum, where Chip Sayan went very aggressive on Ana, slept and allowed a 5-man Earthshatter to come down. When you pick up those game-changing single ultimates rather than just over-investing into a single fight, that's what's usually memorable, and it was a really nice start. As Concussive Grenade doesn't quite knock anyone off, but you can see already the Pharah's ready to go for Conbox.
Yep. Wings not running it at all. They're going to have to rely on Mango for the majority of the denial here for Architects. They may switch after this initial push here, but obviously advantage Conbox with the composition.
Yeah, no answer whatsoever here, although
MB gets a pull. That's going to be enough for that, but still no answer for the Pharah. Architect up to 72%. As you can see, shelling Envy here. Looks for the hook. It's just so difficult to deal with that air Pharah. See what they switch. No one's died yet, so they're going to stick with the comp for now, and they do take the first point. So we do see the respawns coming over here. Twilight at 50% for the res. And Architect just looking again for that barrage. He's already there. Looks for the concussive kill, actually.
So Reinhardt very low, but can't quite pick up the kill. First pick does finally go as chased down by Asher. But watching Architect had them kind of the barrage for a while. Gets one, gets two.
Looking for the triple. Unfortunately, does get taken out by that right click of Envy, who also knocked Sleepy Bear out of the mech. So far, a hold here for the Wings as Conbox is once more going to have to reset. They didn't have the res. If they had it, they probably would have contested there. Now they're going to have the res and the pulse bomb.
They just haven't been able to contest the point. It felt like the Reinhardt has just stood strong around the point, and they haven't been able to get on it and get any ticks or even start to contest it. So the ultimates in general haven't been used that well as first pick comes in for Rhino's Gaming. That's 2 already now with the Mercy already dying, and yeah, there's no way for them to contest the point, even with the compositional advantage of no answer, clean answer for a pharmacy.
Definitely going to have to be patient and set up once more. They don't have the initiation of Sleepy Bear's ult as well, so they're going to have to kind of poke and build ults here, but they don't have much time. 30% left on the control meter here as Architect's looking for that barrage. He's nearly there. Okay, here comes a big Graviton Surge that's going to stop them in their tracks right away. Will Twilight commit the res? Doesn't look like it, at least not initially here. Not going to be able to find value. He's looking for it now. Coming in, he's only got 2 to go. He does pop them back up. Will this push be what they need? They've committed so much. They need this right now. As Asher does go down here to that Earth Shatter. It's a triple. This push looks to be stopped in its tracks, Papa Smithy.
Yeah, crucially, Architect died and wasn't rezzed, so wasn't able to continue in the fight. Gumsu's health bar also disappearing almost instantly. Watching this second point start to tick over. Finally, Conbox getting a couple kills. This is the first time in the whole map they've had position on the capture point.
Yeah, looks like they will finally take it. I don't want to call this too early, but everyone steps off. It looked to be a disaster situation. They turned it around there just mechanically without really ults there. The res, as you said, missing Architect, which was a problem. He comes back, he's sticking with the Pharah, and interestingly, you know, it's really just been Mango dealing with him. He hasn't been able to do enough damage, I feel, on the Pharah. No one's killing him, but it just doesn't feel that significant at the end of the day when the dust settles.
My perception was that Lucio was just healing in the confines of the capture point, and it was just empty damage, like you say, almost like a Junkrat-esque performance there. But finally getting the kills now on the defense of Conbox. Can't allow a single flip. That's already 4 kills over the side of Conbox. Nicely cleaned up by Asher on the Tracer.
Yep, several ults built now as well. Sleepy Bear, the only one who's really far away on that. And Fury's going to have the Graviton Surge where they can use to hard engage, can nano boost Umte, but he's far off of a Earth Shatter, so not a whole lot of targets here.
Angle approach will have to be a bit different here. They want to fight in a narrow corridor to get the most value out of the Graviton Surge. Very unlikely to get 6 given Pharah being separated from the team.
Certainly true.
No res, remember, anymore.
Yeah. Switching over to the Ana. Going to have that nano boost in just a moment here. Architect looking for this high ground. He's probably going to go for the barrage. Does not.
Doesn't have an angle yet.
Yeah, no angle yet, but I thought he might go in. Sound barrier is popped on the other side.
So low already. Really can't become involved in the fight at all as well. On to Asher. He's already harassed away the Pharah.
Sound barrier used early here for Conbox. Unfortunately, Architect is down without the barrage. Wings hold on to this for now, or should be Seabreak holds on to this for now. Asher zipping around, going to get another kill here. 15% to go.
Sleep onto Gamsu as well. But able to live at this point. They'll control it. Couldn't get the value out of the ult. Yeah, they need to rush there, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
It's just not going to happen. No one's close enough here.
Back
1 second
severe.
away. There's the overtime finally coming down from Oxo, but he's forced off with a recall. It's ticking down. Needs to teleport back in with his blink. Does get on for a brief amount of time. Umte dashes in. Actually gets the charge kill onto Oparochi. They're looking for this. I mean, winner of this fight will win the point. Very critical for Conbox to do it to force a third one. Architect with a double may secure just that. There's the self-destruct coming down. It looks like they are going to control this. It ticks down, and they will bring us to a third capture point on Lijiang Tower.
And at the start, it didn't feel like the Pharah would be the difference, but remember, with the Ana damage nerf, Ana is not the pocket counter to Pharah that she once was. They didn't really have the tools to do it, so if they got the straight 100-point cap, we'd never make the point. But when it came to contesting Pharah in the later points of the second capture map, they really didn't have an answer to Pharah, and that's honestly on Rhino's Gaming, not mixing up and respecting the Pharah.
You really thought that they would probably switch to another, you know, either the hit scan on McCree to look for that extra damage, or potentially a soldier, but they thought the Ana would be enough. The damage didn't work out in the beginning, but that last Rocket Barrage did seal the deal. So, we're going into this third and final point of Lijiang, Night Market. And, you know, I was making the jokes about maybe you'd see some farming EMP here, but it's obviously not going to be realistic. Twilight once more on that Ana. Did play the Mercy last time, but this is going to be a completely fireless map here. Not really a strong map for her. Oxo looking for the kill here. Envy gets that hook on the Sleepy Bear, so the mech's already gone.
An early position on the point, but not always the most consequential thing. Start off the map. With Sleepy Bear going down, they will go for a last second contest, but Gamsu forced off, so first capture for Rhinos.
Gamsu just going to suicide off the side here. You know, the first point, people always talk about it's not the most important because obviously it only gives you a few control points, and you know, the only percentage that really matters is 100. But they do get the better ults off of this exchange, and Oxo nearly having that Deadeye is important. It can actually be paired with Mango's Nano Boost moving forward here. They're going to actually just control this choke point for now.
I was thinking more of positioning on the point to start, because obviously the first cap doesn't always come. First cap can be very consequential. Especially
if you build up this so much meter. And,
yep.
Fury is going to soon have that Graviton Surge, so that's one way to control these choke points, to lock people in.
If you get the advanced scouting, something that, of course, someone like Tracer can do, you get a lot of information to look for. The entrance right now don't have a Tracer. I'm just going to dive in.
Yeah, feels very careless, in fact, how he dives in there. Instantly dies. Architect now alone with the Dragon Blade. Does pick up one, but
slept again.
And that was really impressive. The sleep a bit late, but still connects here. Still has 2 kills coming out, but there's just no follow-up anymore with both dive heroes down. Architect's not dead, but he's so low he can't really be relevant. Although, as I say, they pick up more. They turn this fight back around.
See Lucio getting back onto the point, still
They're going to contest it with a sound barrier.
Investing quite a lot, but they get the first kill onto Sleepy Bear. Umte has ult as well. Percentage still goes up 73% already.
Yeah, really good understanding that sound barrier would buy them just enough time. Counter sound barrier coming down here for Conbox. They're so desperate now at this point. 80%. They really need to make this happen now or they'll lose this first map. They do get the kills they need here, and they're finally going to take it back, but that was a close call. It almost looked like they had it for sure, but Umte comes in with a sound barrier on him and buys that extra time. Now they're starting at 0. As we have a clean slate of ults minus Fury.
Sleep dots have been massive from Mango, but in the end, the capture did eventually come through for Conbox, like you said. No ultimates, though. A lot invested. Basically everything they had done, although they do have decent percentage on the likes of Sleepy Bear. Fury has the Graviton. That one ult can certainly be the decider.
Can pair it with the Earth Shatter. Orbit Charge in. They're going to just drop it down here willy-nilly almost, it feels like here, as no one's really caught. They still pick up the double with it. Oxo gets a kill on the Overwatch. Sleepy Bear is knocked off here of the side. They recap. 10% to go. Architect's going to have to come in here without Nano Boost and try to make this work with a Dragon Blade. It's their best chance.
All 3 of their diving mobile heroes do have ultimate, though, so certainly the contest is happening. In fact, he's capping it off the backside now, as we can see, taken down very low.
You see Oban, and he's killed before he can Dragon Blade. That's huge. He's not going to have that there. And now Envy gets the pick here onto Sleepy Bear. This may be the beginning of the end as time ticks down. No one can get in. And Rhinos Gaming are going to take the first map.
They seem to rely on just the Genji to hold the point, but the turnaround was there, taking out great Ana work, even with the Ana damage nerfs. Means we have our first winner of this particular round going over to Rhinos Gaming, who really picked it up after a rough start.
The most impressive to me was when Umte comes over the sound barrier. That commitment at first, you know, when I'm looking at it from my perspective, looked foolish. Why commit this? But they had the understanding that he was going to be able, with that extra shielding, to keep that push going, giving them so much more percentage to work with, holding on so long.
And we're still evaluating Lucio on previous numbers. Remember that his AoE healing is higher. Reinhardt's health total was capping up. They got about an extra 15% from that particular play, and in the end seemed well worth it. I'm going to single out Mango, who throughout the course of 2 maps there, sleep on the Nano Blade twice is something that, honestly, could have been a big separator.
I also feel like Mango's have been really good at hitting the bio grenades on weakened targets. He holds onto it really, really long.
And we have to compare him to Twilight, who unfortunately, the Sombra hype for now has been kind of placated back on the Ana that he was originally questioned on, and definitely there was a big difference between Mango and Twilight in Game 1.
All right, let's see where we're going for Hybrid here. It's going to be Hollywood again, actually, our second time in this tournament. Not going Kings Row is, you know, Conbox Spirit here. Yeah, like you were saying, that was kind of the story of Twilight we were looking at. against a weaker team where they were definitely the favorites. We got to see some flashy Sombra, but the question is, how well is he doing on Ana? Yeah, he played Ana yesterday, but how well is he doing Ana when he's against a better team, when he has to really step it up? And the answer so far has been not poor, but mediocre play, I'd say, at this stage.
One set where he was overshadowed, so certainly something to come back on. We see some more Pharmacy. We are on to Hollywood. A great Hollywood set in our first set of the day. See if that continues now.
That we will. A win here for the Wings would put them on match point. They've already taken a bit of an upset here with game one. We'll see if they can continue it going on to Hollywood.
I get it.
Hollywood Boulevard. The stars come to play. These two teams looking to be superstars. For Conbox, they want to retain their spot. For the Wings, they want to take it going into Apex Season 3.
Guys are joining us late. Remember, this is a winner's bracket match of a tournament where 6 out of 8 teams will eventually proceed to Apex Season 3. So all is not lost. And we do not see
Is this real?
victory here. No, it's probably not.
Probably not, but he's actually coming out.
We'll wait and see. I'd love to see our first Orisa, but he's running back to the
had
spawn
him back. Envy.
You know, there's envy hype usually when it comes to Overwatch, but this was a different type of envy hype.
That's true. I envy the day, or the meta. Well, I'm trying to say envy the meta where we have Orisa, but it hasn't happened yet, so I can't really envy it. But if it was in another region and not here, I'd envy it for sure, because I want to see that play. Anyways, he's going to go to the Roadhog, which he's shown some good plays on so far in this tournament. Oxo with the high ground soldier defense they showed on Nubani.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff here. Going to be the triple tank, only the soldier to control the high ground. The dive comp comes through from Conbox. Let's see if we see some great Zenyatta players. We've only really seen a modicum of Zenyatta so far in our matches today.
Well, you can't get, you know, it's harder to get value on a sleep dart when there's the Transcendence coming in. And you will live through that most of the time.
They go around the backside so far. Waiting to see if we see the high ground contest.
Okay, just going in here to build meter and disrupt. Oh, gets hooked in immediately by Envy. A great Roadhog player. Finding him through the doorway, just didn't have vision.
And everyone else has to back away. Maybe Asher can go and try and farm. Oh, otherwise that fails. They will even have some more disconnected spawns. Speaking of that,
nearly gets the kill there on the Sleeping Bear, at least the break on the mech.
there's not really any room for error for Architect. He needs to be the one to really open up the defenses. Probably going to need the Dragon Blade after a failed first push to even hope to claim point A, and we've already seen those clutch sleeps from Mango in the past.
That's what I'm saying. That feels like a liability more than a strength here at this point. Not going to be able to commit the 2 ults to it necessarily here.
Really nice defensive formation so far from Rhino's Gaming.
Oh, Oxo stays alive. That's another one of those clutch bio grenades I'm talking about here from Mango. Keeps Oxo alive. Now he's got that visor. He could use it here. Asher looks for the pick.
Double!
Does get the double, though.
Really nice double. Fury dead as well. Probably just the AoE there as Transcendence is popped. This should actually be the capture for Conbox.
Absolutely. Transcendence just to secure it. Asher going to get some late respawn kills here as well. It ends up being almost a wipe, but desyncs the spawns completely. Better than a wipe even as they take this. 5 minutes left on the clock. And Architect didn't even have to use the Dragon Blade. As you can see, he just gotten it. All about the double kill. Really nice defensive setup, as you said. Oxo living there with the Mango biotic grenade, but the double just changed everything in an instant.
I mean, Gamsu finally got into the back line, was getting some AoE damage in, also the dash and double kill. Kind of undid everything. It's just effectively a triple kill given that Zarya died from AoE of her own grenade. So really clutch play from Asher in particular, and they get a nice start to the push in the Streets phase, looking pretty comfortable so far.
Yeah, I mean, textbook dive, as good as it gets. Okay, Architect has the blade here, but it looks like Oxo's going to get nano-visored instead first. Picks off 2. Looking for the 3rd on Sleepy Bear's mech. Well, should get it. Just barely does not, it seems. But several ults used here on the defense, but they buy some time.
Yeah, getting 2 kills plus allows you to allow the soldier to get back to high ground and regroup. Obviously not the biggest walk back for Conbox, but 2 ultimates invested there. Rhino's Gaming. They still have the Graviton Surge for the next push, though.
Wings have the big hog, I don't think that's really what it's called, but the hog into the Graviton Surge available they could use for a big combo. It's not going to be easy to pull off, but something they could look for. Sleepy Bear has self-destruct. He could use it for an initiate. They follow up with a Dragon Blade with that Transcendence that's nearly ready.
So Conbox try. Oh, I was going to see the ultimate here. It's a really big Graviton Surge.
This whole hog used here, no it's not, as too many members died immediately, so this ends up being ineffective. And Conbox continues a very strong push without using very many ults at all.
And that was just started by the Graviton Surge. It might have hit multiple members, but they didn't really have anyone to dive with it. So even though it looked attractive, it certainly didn't have the desired results. And it's going to have to be an emergency contest right at the end. They want to stop it getting through the streets phase here.
I feel like, look at Sleepy Bear here. I feel like because he has self-destruct, this is almost certainly a guaranteed push. There's no answer for that right now. They're not even running the Reinhardt, so how can they even stop this from happening? It's going to be so difficult. Like you said, it's going to be an emergency attempt here. Envy drops down that hog, but nothing pairs with it. He doesn't get a single kill. He has to run and hide, and this is going to be the cap easily. The self-destruct actually picks off a Gape as well, and that's going to be all she wrote for this one as they push it back. Very well done. There was no tools for Wings to defend this. Sleepy Bear was just waiting on that high ground as the observer was showing for that self-destruct, and he popped it. He popped it well.
I think it was a good call by you there in terms of there was no formation of the 6 heroes selected that actually would lead to a realistic contest. Streets phase is over. Looking to cap this in good time is Conbox Spirit off the back of that second push dive on point A. And finally, the Reinhardt does come out, but maybe a little bit late here for Rhino's game.
Could be Nano Boost is ready, but preparing for what? Perhaps they just drop it onto Umte so we could try to get that other shatter.
Put it on Oxo and get some sick headshots, I guess.
I hope so. Asher's coming in here deep, actually, with a pulse bomb. Gets the double again with the help of Architect, who picks up a second one here. He's got the Dragon Blade now, gets another. And he is just going to clean the clock of Rhino Gaming.
That was
Wings.
either a 5 or a 6K, and there's no respawns. That was basically in an instant. We're driving in, ambling in. Envy on the point to contest. Snaps back. We're down to 3 meters already.
Yeah, he's going to have to get back onto the point here. He's discorded. He's in a weak position. Ice block coming up here. Ice wall, I should say, for Ox, so we can go ahead and drop out that Cryo Freeze to hold on a little bit longer. But the push continues. Conbox just pick up ults without losing a single member.
Kill feed is bathed in blood. Red, red, red. And congratulations there. Great dive, great play, and very nice capture there for Rhino's game.
As I said before, this is just textbook dive. This is how dive goes well. This is what you want to see with a composition like this. And despite the struggle, you know, in that first map, Conbox really turns things around on Hollywood. Was from very strong pushes, just using 1 or 2 ults, not always having to use all theirs, and their ult denies were really strong as well. It felt like every time I looked at the top of the UI, every time I looked at the HUD for the Wings, I was like, oh, they don't have any ults, or they have 1 ult, but there's nothing to pair it with, or the Graviton Surge comes in, but there's no follow-up. They don't even bring it with the whole
But
hog.
even with 6 ults, you looked at the comp and you were like, what does with 6 ults, what does this comp do? And
What
it
does it
felt
accomplish?
Like they kind of had like incremental pieces to deal with portions of the Conbox comp, but not a 6-man identity.
Yeah, they had a lot of puzzle pieces, but they didn't fit together to make a composition or a combination that could stop the just specifically really solid and standard dive comp from Conbox, who now will set up on the defense here. Don't think we're actually going to see this Hanzo and yeah, the Pharah. I don't think that's actually going to stay. Nomsu's Winston almost certainly will. Okay, looking at Oxo on the Reaper here, actually.
Twilight. Look at what he's holding on to. Could actually be.
Could be.
It's not the worst point. You do have a health pack you can hack and get easy access to and potentially get a very fast EMP.
You
but
can also translocate, harass the back, come in, repeat that process. Looks like he's going to do it for real here. The crowd's getting a bit hyped. You can hear the Korean commentators coming to the
14 seconds, I don't think he's changing.
Yeah, don't think so. It goes and changes. I'm like, oh.
Of course, there is a pretty big degree of risk here for Conbox, but remember, they don't even have a soldier. It's literally only the nerfed, I guess you would say, AoE healing of Lucio, unless everyone is grouped, available when it comes to Stain and also the health packs.
Okay, Translocator up. Going to surprise everyone here from the backlight, which actually adds a lot of disruption here. Translocates back early as he's spotted immediately. We're actually going to see Oxo commit to the Reaper. Feels old school. We might see some of that Beyblade action here. They've got Fury on the Zarya as well. This feels very much Season 1 Apex here, what we're seeing.
See the Reaper coming through. No picks yet for the side of Rhino's game. In fact, 2 kills already for Conbox Spirit as Twilight continues.
I think he
to
got the
great
hack
tracking
onto Oxo as well, if I'm not mistaken, so he couldn't actually Wraith out of there. Now he's got EMP ready for the next push.
He's getting ult faster than a Tracer consistently. Did this when we saw it on Oasis, when we saw it on Hanamura. You gotta say, at the Ana, not convincing, but the Sombra play, when it really fits the comp, may become the new Symmetra because it feels like it does fit certain defenses very well.
Okay, Oxo flying over the roof here, switching now onto the Pharah. The Reaper was not working out. And it's harder to hit with an EMP against this flying target up on the high ground. Twilight translocates into it.
EMP is loaded, no shields.
Doesn't hit much.
Through. Right, it wasn't massive, but does allow Architect to come in. No kills yet, though, for the Genji. Back away. Pretty low value EMP, you'd have to say.
But with how quickly he's building it, I can't be too... it felt forced, right? It can't be too critical, but he just translocated it blind, it almost felt like, to try to have this massive surprise EMP. Unfortunately, just didn't get lucky there. And he's already up to 50%, so... Gonna have another one ready for the next push, very likely. Umte getting close to that Earthshatter, and the res is ready. The Wings need to make this happen, though. They've only got 2:10 left on the clock. And Conbox has a strong push against him with 2:38 with the finish.
Don't have a Resurrect yet, Gabe. Only at 72%. Gets the hack onto the Reinhardt. Gets a lot of damage on him, but won't fall yet.
Well, that helps him get that EMP. This could be his moment. He translocates back. Could just dash in for it. The bubble to protect him. He's not going to commit. There's the translocate attempt, but he gets shattered, so he can't jump in for the EMP he wanted. He's knocked down before he can teleport.
Finally, the EMP does go through, though, so it was used in the end. Not gets much. Twilight's already dead. Will this be the push for Rhinos Gaming?
Res comes in, and it looks like it may very well be. Although, as I say that, they get wiped up here. Architect is just killing them one by one.
And Gabe died with the res available. Wasn't able to put it through. That needed to be the push, you'd have to think, for Rhinos Gaming, but repelled in the end for Conbox.
Yeah.
Looking for the full hold, and only one push. Mercy, they actually moves away from Mercy even though he had Resurrect available.
Yeah, he called out the res because I think he actually flew in looking for it, but it didn't happen. Either way, he's going to switch to the Lucio now.
And now it's all about the single O. We saw it once from Umte. Now can we see it with just the Graviton Surge for Rhinos Gaming?
Good question. Here comes a Pulse Bomb attempt to try to slow this
Twilight's
down.
dead.
Twilight is dead, in fact. We'll be up here fairly soon, but he's not going to have the EMP they want. Fury has a Graviton. He's looking for it right now. Almost got reflected there. He does save it. Close call. Dropping it now into the wall here, but everyone gets out. Fairly unsuccessful. Double kill here. I mean, this is going to be another stop and push. 37 seconds to go. Twilight is back up.
Twilight only now gets there as every member of Rhinos Gaming is wiped. Umte could come back at the last second, but that's all. Watching the percentage timed out. Doesn't know there's going to be contest, and it will finally be a claim. Point A for Rhinos Gaming.
You know, Twilight not there for the EMP. There were some really clutch moments there at the beginning, but it seemed like the utility started to fade over time for the Sombra. Architect does have that Dragon Blade. He's going to stay, yeah. Very interesting indeed.
Great particular place to fight specifically with the Ana, but sticks around and is slept by Ana.
He'll be killed as a result, almost 100%.
Yep.
So, got greedy there, and it, you know, it starts to wonder. You start to wonder if it's time to switch off the Sombra here. It's losing value fast.
First impression is yes, but sticks on it, as you can see. More kills coming through from the side of Rhinos Gaming. Going to be very, very desynced here as the respawns are all over the place. Going to be a big push, which was needed, given that the time bank is pretty low for Rhinos Gaming.
Envy has this Pulse Bomb, as Oxo is up here, totally uncontested, looking for a Deadeye. Not going to have any options to. In fact, everyone is on him. Twilight finally has the EMP.
Needs to make this one work. So far, he's kind of 0 for 2 in many ways.
He's going for it. He drops it down, gets several here. Will this be the kills they're looking for? So far, so good. Actually going to be a triple here for Conbox on the defense, but they used a lot of resources for it. Architect even using the Dragon Blade right now. Wants to kill on a Mango, but he gets slept as Mango goes down. So still going to get the kills there. Very expensive what Conbox just did, though.
Like you say, sticking on...
Ooh, this is the translocator.
That wasn't a highlight play. He's going to hope he wasn't on screen for that one. But sticking on this Sombra, longer and longer is Twilight. Even though you look at this phase and you think that Ana is suited to all the long sight lines of the Streets phase of Hollywood.
it's so difficult to react to the translocator EMP where you just mid-air EMP. It's hard to tell where that's coming from, and that's part of the success of this we've seen from Twilight so far. Who again just teleports back.
And it's so low risk in just farming your ult and then going back to a hacked health pack and even then getting ult charge. So EMP already available again. Feels like it's basically
like a better tracer. Oh, here's a huge EMP here, attempt here. Sound Barrier gets off first though. And this is actually going to be Conbox Spirit holding once more. Gamsu dies though before he can use his ult.
It's actually a 2-for-1 at least in terms
2-for-1
of
for now.
Only the mech suit though, so it actually ends up being a 2-for-1 in the phase of Conbox Spirit. Now they're cleaning up, so may have lost the suit on the D.Va, but no more. Buenos Gaming, it's only the D.Va alive.
They're getting desynced. They need to set up for another push. But as I was saying before, Twilight just did it again. Just feels like the way he's playing it, in terms of damage, no, he's not as good of a tracer, but he's almost like a support tracer. You know, he's got a faster recall that gives him full health consistently, and he has this massive, massive AoE hack. And he's looking for it again here. Conbox looking for the hold to close this one out. Overtime has started here.
No one's on the point. Finally now is going to be contested by Lucio.
Okay, here comes the Dragon Blade in from Architect. He's going to need several picks here. If he gets it, they might just be able to win this right here, right now. And he does get what he needed. Going to be the last kill onto Fury. Down goes the overtime, and we are going to tie things up 1-1 as Conbox Spirit comes back strong again on the back of that Twilight Sombra.
And it looks like it would be an overestimation. It looked like it would be an overinvestment when they lost point 1, but it isn't a Symmetra. It's a multi-point strategy for Conbox Spirit. And having it available for every true engage meant that there was never going to be an ultimate advantage because it felt like Sombra has permanent ultimate.
Yeah, it really does. Permanent health, constant harass. I mean, there were a few times where Twilight got greedy and got picked, but he never gave up the hero. And when he was on point, it was just so hard to stop. It's hard to stop those translocated EMPs where he flies in from a direction you cannot expect and there's this massive run. There's no way to stop him unless you sleep dart him instantly, which is so difficult. Imagine sleep darting that. I mean, obviously it's very difficult to sleep dart, say, a nano-bladed Genji, but getting the Sombra mid-air is so difficult to do. And hoping we see more of it, but I'm worried about Twilight kind of being a one-trick pony in this regard, not as strong on other maps where it cannot be used.
Looked like a magic trick on Hollywood, though, so we'll see how it goes going forward. Back after the break, more Apex challengers in just a moment.
Welcome back to Super Week, everybody. These winners matches have not disappointed. We're going into a tied score, 1-1, in our second of the evening between Conbox Spirit and Rhinos Gaming Wings. This could go to Game 5 again.
That's sort of Game 5 you welcome. You know, Conbox looked a lot better on Hybrid than they did in our first round, as Rhinos looked pretty comfortable taking down Lijiang Tower. I'm excited to see where we go next, and we start again coming back, you have to the Sombra, which is still very much an edge meta pick around the world. And you're like, okay, is it just a static strategy? Well, now Oasis, Hanamura, Hollywood. This map pool, if it starts getting to 5, 6, then you're like, okay, then maybe there are a lot of defenses where you can make that work. So Twilight's looking more and more at the Sombra main as we wonder if we're going to go back to Hanamura, see some more Cherry Blossoms.
It's got to be scary to play against the Sombra on Hanamura, though.
Oh, we are.
So we'll probably see that Tracer once more. Or excuse me, I keep saying Tracer because he plays it like a Tracer. See that Sombra. You know, the matchup between Twilight and Mango, I feel like, has really been the game-setting one, because when Architect can get his Nano Blades off without a hitch, it's working really well with the dive comp. Twilight's having the really amazing EMPs, the really good Sombra play, but when he's on Ana, it doesn't feel as strong.
And we've already seen him play the Sombra on Hanamura point B. Well, we even see it on attack point A. Go back to a complexity strat. Who's to say?
We didn't see it yesterday, and you know, Achilles and I were talking about it. There's still definitely the opportunity for that, and this is a choice that Rhinos Gaming Wings must have made intentionally here, very aware of the potential Sombra. We're going to go into this game number 3. Winner will go on to match point as we move into Hanamura.
Just like the Cherry Blossoms, our Overwatch casting is coming into full bloom.
Well, that's how I feel about our cast too, Papa Smithy.
Synergy.
Synergy. We are synergized. All right. Gamsu again with the troll. Mango as well. I said mango. Wow, I'm getting some Korean. Mango.
Is that actually what a mango is in Korean?
Yeah, mango. As you would imagine.
You get away in Subway with saying English words Korean style quite a lot.
Yeah.
As it turns out, quite a lot of those do hold true.
You also get away with finger pointing.
Well, I mean, when I was studying French at school, there was always this like competition, you could say it, where my teacher would be like, you know, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire means what does this mean? And then she would say a word. And honestly, half the time it was a English word with a French accent, and I was like, is that what it is in English? It's like, yes, and I was like, sweet. So my knowledge of English.
Well, that'd be really weird if like a word like
quiz.
Potato, if you said potato in French, it would mean like something totally different.
Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire potato? And I'd be like, potato? She's like, yes,
she's
you
like,
nailed
no,
it.
it means microwave, come on. Like
Look, all I'm saying is my implied vocab in French was much better than my actual vocab in French.
I got you. Heard your French is good. I'll wait to test you on that.
Free advice. If you come to Subway in Korea, lettuce is not lettuce or anything like that.
Yangsang-chu.
Yes, very different. That one is not the same.
So on the attack here for the Wings, they're going to be running a dive comp with Envy on the Genji. Not as impressive as Architects historically here, but they're going to try to make this work. The defense is standard. Again, Architect on the Genji himself.
Twilight is on Ana. Of course, did not play Sombra on point A. It was a point B strategy yesterday at Conbox Spirit.
The mirrored compositions here.
Twilight's all alone, but doesn't die, actually. It's the 1-for-1, so healer's down on both sides.
You know, it's funny when you have dive versus dive, the defender sometimes has a disadvantage because they're kind of having to spread, whereas the attack comes in as one here, but Conbox does a nice defense regardless. Comes in together here, gets the picks they needed.
And some musical chairs as well, because you want to dive in and out, but also maintain a presence on the capture point. So
absolutely. And the interesting thing here, I feel like, is when you compare Architect's Genji to Envy's Genji, Architect just has the far better Genji play. And when you're mirrored comps like this, that's so important. Also, remember, Gamsu, very famous, very known for his Winston. So when you just match it up like this, it feels like Conbox has an edge, just mechanically.
No ultimates in the discussion yet, as Gabe and Umte both go down. Two quick picks here, and it's going to be a pretty big 6-man advantage for Rhino's Gaming Wings, although some more delayed spawns. Watching here, Oxo on your screen doing a duel. So far, Architect's won the Genji duel.
Yep, and he does have that Dragon Blade. Twilight needs to heal him up once he returns. There's the heal. So he will not have a Nano Blade, but Wings are just going to take this. They're going to push away. Going to have a lot of ults for the next defense. Actually, they may commit to this. They're going to dive in with the Winston. They do not want to give this up. Oxo has a recall. He gets back onto the point here. But here comes that Blade I was talking about. This time gets several, and it ends up working out here for Conbox Spirit.
And there was that comfort, peaceful phase where you'd be understandably expecting them to reset. But remember that Architect had farmed the Dragon Blade, gotten off the point, waited for the dive back in for Gamsu, and that was the go button for the Dragon Blade to suck them into a bit of a false sense of security.
I was sold, you know. I really thought they'd given it up, but Gamsu said no. They come in. Sleepy Bear's now got the self-destruct. So important to hold this like this, to have that self-destruct available. Okay, here comes Envy's Dragon Blade. He's going to have to do the same or better to make this happen. Does get the kill to Gamsu, who's very overextended here, but nothing else. I don't think this is enough. Gamsu kills Mongo for the trade. Oh, I said Mongo again. Here we go.
Well, watching Oxo in the 1-for-1 does take out Asher, which is so big here. As we're following Oxo, continues on, takes out
Oh, that self-destruct wasted. He wanted to use it to stay alive, but he used it without having any low ground there, without a ground to stop it on, so he just dies and uses it.
It doesn't look like it's going to be a Nigerian Prince this time. I don't think you're being sold a dummy. This should be the capture for Rhinos Gaming. There it is.
There's the cap. As we move in here, Architect gets a few kills.
He got some ult percentage from it,
yeah,
so
I mean,
not
he's
wasted.
He's close to the Nano.
And now we all watch Twilight to see if Ana is what he'll stick with. We're going to see the replay and, yeah, use the ult far too late. You know, just used it to try and get back onto the high ground. Couldn't do so.
Yeah, he wanted to stay on the high ground and also to perhaps push people off of the point. He failed to do both. Can rebuild that, obviously, though. But still, it's very painful to lose the point and lose your ult like that at the same time. Well, Rhino Gaming
still a good hold.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes or just over 3 minutes is a good time to hold point A on Hanamura. Let's see how Rhinos Gaming want to approach this. They have no ultimates to work with except for Lucio. But the dive already starts.
Do kind of a little bit of an eco push here to try to build. As I say, that Architect is going to shut it down. Dragon Blade used here very early. Only gets the one. Asher picks up Mango.
Nano Blade as well. So Twilight's dead. We'll see if there's a change, but we'll focus on the action for now.
Oh, there's the Sombra. This is what we were looking for here.
So it looked like a waste of a Nano Blade, but it was more that he had farmed it up and wanted to go back to this Sombra that has been a staple. This has actually a really big effect on heroes like Tracer, who want to go in, harass, and then retreat to the health packs. With no safe health packs, suddenly it's much harder to pull off that mosquito-like play.
And it's a two-way street because Asher now has more health packs to utilize, especially once the second hack goes down. So his Tracer becomes stronger. Also, don't forget the EMPs can stop a Tracer from blinking to secure the kill.
That ult so soon. The 4 ultimates, soon to be 5 on the side of Rhinos Gaming. 6 not far away, so Twilight needs to really get his harass game on. Otherwise, it could just be a bowling over, as there is already the Nano Blade.
Coming in here, already 2 kills here. And, you know, Twilight just doesn't have that EMP, nothing to deny it with. He's trying to build it up right now, but he doesn't have it. He's now a liability without that extra healing.
Rhinos Gaming have position on the point. The meter starts to build, but only just the start, so a long way to go. We all know how 2-point capture goes. We see Gamsu ulting on the point, trying to buy time.
That he is. Several kills here onto Conbox, but they are starting to respawn now. They need to get some picks here.
Single pick is so important.
Yeah.
Still none for the side of Conbox.
They haven't even used self-destruct yet. Fury still has that here. Looking for the kill into Gamsu. The heal deny here. EMP goes up, but it feels like a little bit too late here. They get like 1 kill onto a Gape. That's a start here as Twilight's still trying to help push this back.
EMP already used, as you can see.
Yeah.
That finally does slow things down. We thought maybe Twilight had swapped too late and wouldn't be able to build up the first EMP. Successful in the end. And now we're going to see the regroup from Rhinos Gaming.
Almost feels like the EMP lasts longer than it takes him to build it, too. It's just such a strong ability. We can land it like this. Oxo getting blown up there. That's not your health pack. That's hacked, and it belongs to Architect, who's just going to sit here and farm it. Doesn't even need to use his E, of course, because, you know, he's already got full ult, so he's not going to get any benefit from that.
And watch this, you know, just camping the health pack.
Builds up Twilight's ult.
Yep. You see every time 7%. No need to take a breather.
Nope. Not even going to build his ult. He already has it.
And And then you have to start wondering, what is the right trade for an EMP? How much do you invest with the threat of an EMP on every push? It almost always feels like an overestimation. Speaking of overestimation, there is the EMP.
Okay, we're going to see Twilight drop down that EMP, like you said. Sound Barrier coming into with the Dragon Blade for Envy here, but unfortunately he's unable to get any kills. Finally gets the kill onto Architect to switch over to the Roadhog here, and there's a self-destruct coming in on top of the point.
The second time they've gotten a good spot right in this game, but still don't have a single tick of the control point.
Fury's got his own self-destruct now. He needs to use it soon. No one could die here or this push is over. It looks like they're just going to end it anyways. As the kill goes on to Gamsu.
Dead as well. Gonna be the regroup.
They look, Fury's just gonna be the only one aggressively positioned here. Twilight gets a double meanwhile. I don't know what happened there, it was off screen. Can't even tell you guys, but 1 minute left for this push to work. They've had good starts, good approaches every time.
This is the most important health back to hack. We already mentioned it, how Traces want to use that to find a flank and dive in and out, pick up the pulse bomb, and that's why he's going to be a jerk.
He's looking for that harass. He's looking for the EMP. Actually doesn't use the Translator. Steals this pack. He also scouts very critically the second floor push. They're going to be ready for that. Fury going to try to disrupt here with that self-destruct. Saving it for now. They need to get multiple picks, and they can't lose anyone. Oxo being down here is a huge problem. As Twilight's very close to that EMP here. Maybe the last one of this push. Or of this defense, I should say. There's the EMP. He can't use his self-destruct. He can't even fly. And now they're going to commit onto this while the EMP is down.
He's going to harass them and get them out further and further. They're diving aggressively here at Conbox Spirit on the defense. Gamsu goes 1 for 1.
But
doesn't seem ideal.
Because they were hacked.
And of course Twilight has his ult.
He has his ult again, but because they were hacked, they didn't use their ults, but now they have them to push again. They have a one-man advantage right now. Oxo cannot die this time. Him dying has actually been a big problem here. Gets the pulse bomb kill to Sleepy Bear. Here's Envy's Dragon Blade. This is their opportunity under overtime.
Big EMP. Though, EMP. The EMP comes through, watching the point here in overtime. Twilight still hacking the point, still building up. Another EMP, good tracking, doesn't quite kill off the Tracer. Push continues here. Rhino's Gaming at 5 members. Oxo dead, everyone else alive.
Sleep there, the hack as well. Twilight just trying to do what he can to buy time for those respawns. Asher's coming up soon. He can get on this point to help deny.
Still so much time. We've seen Hanamura many times, Wolf.
Yeah, we have. We absolutely have. Okay, here comes Asher. Does come in for some of that deny. Recalls back, continuing to deny here. Every kill is so important against Rhinos here as this big push becomes weaker and weaker. They do get the pick on the Twilight as well as Asher here. This may finally be enough.
Gamsu, Sleepy Bear, and Overwatch still alive, trying to keep it going. Finally, 1 tick of the control point is complete. Oxo trying to take out Sleepy Bear. He's dead. They're still pushing on. 5 respawns, though.
Gamsu does go down. He doesn't have his ult,
if he's done, finally, Dragon Blade on the way out. So it's once again 5 members. Respawn starts to come through. A second pick will be crucial. There's the EMP.
The EMPs, this is their critical moment here. Sleepy Bear coming back out. They're pushing them off the point. They need to manage. They need to keep that overtime up here. Someone needs to get on the point to ensure this. Fury moving back here. It's actually 5 to 6 right now. This is a great position for Conbox Spirit to continue to push this. Sleepy Bear has a self-destruct. He wants to use it to get the maximum amount of value to clear this up and stop the overtime. Here it goes. This could be it.
Finally now 2 points. This push has been going so long. Continue to get picks. To get back on the point here. It's only just Fury. Sleepy Bear on the point finally. He's the only one holding it. He's dead. Still that percentage doesn't go up. Gamsu slept, but woken up crucially again. Will continue to contest.
Oh, if he had not been woken, it would have been the cap for sure. Maybe anyways. So close right now. Oh my god, this is a really long fight here as we go into this. Now the Ana coming out here for Architect to buy the time. Does not have the cryo this time, but he buys time for Sleepy Bear to come out. They need to get kills. They need to get kills on the wings here, and they're so far unable to do so. Looks like this might be the cap if they can get Asher. He comes back in. The heal ban here, very critical to get these slippery heroes. They're going to get the Winston. They did. And they will finally capture that second point in overtime after an arduous, probably 2-minute long skirmish.
Could have been longer, Wolf. That one went on longer and longer. Multiple EMPs, but finally forced to swap onto the Mei, got the picks, and stick the landing, but only in overtime. If we see a first point take, there could be 7 minutes to actually get a time bank and make this pretty straightforward for the side of Conbox, but not much to split these two teams, and even now, after our first sighting of Hanamura, things are still pretty damn equal.
You know, you have to take into consideration when we talk about those last skirmishes, the defender always has a massive advantage. but they couldn't secure kills.
We never saw 2 kills. There was a single pick. It was 5v4, 5v3 many times, but it was always the 5. The Tracer came through, the Genji came back. They just about stuck the landing, but if we ever saw one of those double kills, like the pulse bomb we saw first time on Hanamura, very different proposition.
And, you know, when we see the kills coming in for Wings, the ones they have to secure at the end, the really dangerous and slippy ones, and they got heal bans at the end, the Tracer, the Winston, these heroes that can come back quickly. They die, they respawn, they come back in. They're so mobile, they're so hard to finish off. They just step in and out of the point to, you know, continue that overtime. You know, the ban on the heal there, the biotic grenade that connected there at the end was what they finally were able to seal the deal.
I assume that's the Korean term. Ban
yes,
on
heal ban.
Anti-heal, I guess what we would say.
Yeah.
On the English community, I know you've got your ear to the ground here in Korea, giving us all the best information on the challenger teams. Understandable.
Just, it's just in my brain from playing on the Korea server so much.
How's that treating you? Sometimes good, sometimes bad, like every server?
Yes. But I feel like recently more on the bad side.
some triple snipers?
You put me in a position where I had to either say the PC thing or say the honest thing.
Hey man, we're competitive casters here. We're doing the pro matches. Don't have to worry about the ladder for now.
That's right. Okay, well, this is Conbox Spirit now. They're going to have to match this. Obviously, if they do it anything faster than overtime, it's going to be great for them.
Watch for the first point. The first point can be so crucial. No picks so far. Watching for the Discord orb. So far onto Envy. Trying to take down that Genji in the high ground.
Twilight, you know, on camera once more, not going to be doing the Sombra attack. It's only defensively he's been using it here on Hanamura.
The battle seems to be slightly won there, but some heals come through, and Architect actually taken out. It's a nice reversal by Envy on defense.
That's going to build up his Dragon Blade a lot faster. Zoomte is looking for some harass here.
And that means you're all reset. We'll take a deep breather. No Reinhardts to clog up. The choke means that less spamming and less ultimate charge being built up, so just waiting for Genji to respawn. Try the dive once again. Maybe second time's a charm for the side of Conbox. There is Architect on your screen.
They're hoping so. They didn't build as much meter as they'd like. Still no ults for the second push.
Envy's really close to Dragon Blade as well. Builds up more, taking out the Diva suit. Architect gets one pick onto Umte, but we're following Asher just for now.
And he's been
empty damage.
Very unsuccessful in building his meter as well. Really underwhelming performance here on the Tracer. And Rhino will hold this push.
This is what happens sometimes with these dive comps. It goes from being a coordinated dive to one person filtering in at a time. The ult being built up, and now the only ultimate is probably the most consequential one of all 12 in here, and that being Envy having his Dragon Blade available.
The matchup we talk about between Mango and Twilight, Mango's going to be able to Nano Blade Envy if he can build this up a little bit longer, which he's already farming towards, you saw on screen there. Twilight won't have that. He'll only have the Transcendence to pair. Envy going to wait until that Nano is ready, or wants to at least, with his Dragon Blade. He does escape here, get that Bio Grenade. Mango on point with keeping him alive. He knows that's what he needs here. 95%, but he is taken out here. Architect does come in.
Architect ults because he has Zenyatta heals behind him. Now also the Lucio. This could be enough even with the counter Dragon Blade. Envy goes down, and they've done enough. This should be the take, although he was trying to buy as much time as possible.
Well, another unsuccessful Diva hold. Yeah, he does get the Architect. He doesn't drop it off the side like Sleepy Bear did last time. And this does continue on for a bit longer here.
You see Umte coming in already with the Primal Raise, trying to buy as much time as possible for the respawns. Backing's good. Lucio filtering in as well. I don't know if this is half-hearted or a serious defense by Runners Gaming. I get the feel it's the former, and this should be the capture.
Yeah, they just wanted to buy a little bit more time, but this is going to be the cap, as mentioned. Architect commits in, has that Transcendence, kills Mango.
The Transcendence there was the big game changer. Remember, Rhinos Gaming was sitting on Nano Blade for what felt like an eternity.
Well, Mango died right before he had it. He was at like 98%. He was killed by Architect going in there, and that was the turning point. The Transcendence made sure that he was able to get so much value, and then the long run back just eventually just explains itself.
It was such a double whammy because there wasn't either the Biotic Grenade to cancel out the Transcendence healing, so the value on killing Mango was kind of off the chain. As now we're looking at the attack onto point B. Gump's got a single pick onto Mango, who we just discussed. 3 quick picks, and this could be some control meter finally build up.
Absolutely looking to be that way. They need to get another pick here to actually get that first one. Asher saving that pulse bomb. Just going to knock D.Va out of the suit here. Wants to save this, wants to hit members coming out of that doorway when he can. There's the kill onto a Gabe. They're just continuing these picks here. Nano Boost coming down onto the Winston, actually. An Architect popping off here with the Dragon Blade. And look at this, he's actually slept the Genji, or has slept the Winston. He gets the kill there onto Umte, and they are about to just straight cap this. They double cap it.
Oh boy!
There you go.
That sleep could not have been more massive. It was outside the AoE of the points, and then even cleaned up the kill to desync the Winston. Man, now suddenly there is, what, 5 minutes for Conbox to just have to push point A.
And it's insane because, you know, the Winston is one of those slippery heroes we're talking about, the ones that can respawn quickly, that jump around. Sleeping them outside the point is so critical. It allows them to build that meter so quickly. Then they just continue the kills left and right. He couldn't come back to stop the capture because he had that desync. Much stronger push here for Conbox, and I feel like it's really on the back.
And now, I got it wrong, 4 minutes, but remember, because we're playing 2-point capture, Rhinos Gaming's got nothing. It's on them to hold for longer than even just the starting time. 4 minutes 13 for point A. That Conbox just goes back to the same strategy that won them the last fight. Why change anything?
I imagine that is going to be the case, although
Twilight will play with our hearts a little bit.
He does. He knows.
We just want to add, I've got a list here of points that Twilight plays the Sombra, and I'm ready to add Hanamura on attack point A. Attack Sombra needs to be added to the list, I think.
I'm hoping he does it. He's not switching yet. Show me that camera shot. OG and Observer, do it!
I mean, to be fair, they don't have a Genji, so it doesn't necessarily feel like this is going to be a Zenyatta-esque comp, and yeah, they will actually run attack Sombra.
All right, fan service. Not really, it's actually a really good strong strat. We saw it already. Going to go for the translocator into the hack, into the back lines, actually. Wings spreading, though, so he doesn't even need to look for the hack on the back of the Reinhardt. He's just going to walk in here and start building meter for the EMP.
Doesn't have a pocket Mercy. Remember, they are running attack Sombra, so is actually the first person to go down. They were counting on there being no tools from Rhino Gaming to take him out. Honestly, it's on the lower end.
I was going to say, I think you should just switch back to the Genji, even with only the one support of the Lucio. He has more health packs here with Twilight and the ability to get kills with the EMP, even if he doesn't have Dragon Blade.
EMP Dragon Blade also could just be farmed over time, so that seems to be the strategy for now. We'll wait and see if Twilight changes. He should have very soon his first EMP.
10% away. It's going to be just a few left clicks. Looking for the hack here onto D.Va, drops the translocator, boosts out, he's got the EMP now, wants to hide here, he's actually going to get picked before he can use it, which is actually a smart, or not a smart, but an important pick here for Envy. And now they know he's going to respawn, so they don't have some time to set up and get ready for that EMP.
They have so much time, well, they still have 3 minutes. As Architect is taken out, do you just farm the Dragon Blade, then go for the all-in? I guess the only reason you don't do that is if you want to change Twilight onto something like the Zenyatta.
I think there's another reason, too, is that you might just want to go for something here to build ults with the EMP because they have that time, and because Twilight can get the EMP up so quickly. So he can have 3 EMPs in the time it takes to get a Dragon Blade at this rate. So I'd say try it once, go for it. Oh, this translocate, you might have wanted to jump in for the EMP. He's going to try to cloak his way in. Here we go.
This would be a good one.
Okay, gets it off here, and this is going to be their opportunity to win this map. Architect gets the kill onto Umte here, but Gamsu is already dead. And Architect builds a little bit more meter with this. It's going to be tough for them to cap with it, but they build that meter.
They have a big advantage when it comes to respawns. Remember, Rhinos Gaming have to walk a long way back, so every kill consequential, they take it.
With a recall there, he's off the point, and they just grab it in that moment. Very well done. The EMP is all it takes. They didn't get a massive amount of kills, but they got enough with the respawn callback you were talking. And you get to write down that Hanamura attack for the Twilight Sombra. And now, Conbox Spirit, after a rough start in this series, are now on match point as we go into our 4th map, our escort map.
And the gimmick is starting to become the game changer, Wolf. It can't be a gimmick if it wins time after time. You could point to the opposition, MVP space, for the amount of value they got out of Twilight in the first series. They're against a much tougher opposition. We've seen Rhinos Gaming at different points have the big advantage on multiple maps, and so far, they still haven't had that clean answer because, sure, disperse from the AoE is always the answer to AoE abilities, but when it comes to defending a control point, you only have so many liberties.
You certainly do, and I try to think, brainstorm, what's the answer? How do you stop this play? It's tough to think of the right answer. We're going to Dorado again here for our escort map, but, maybe if they had a Torbjorn set up or a Mercy, if they have a Torbjorn, perhaps he can actually zone out Twilight, so he can't really get close enough to just get that free EMP charge. It's hard to say, man. I'm really just theory crafting, but right now it seems broken almost with how well he's playing it. I think we're going to see more of it in the future as other players starting to pick up this style.
And hey, if it takes them to Apex, which remember, if they win Dorado, they would have got to Apex completely off the back, or at least large part off the back of a new pick for Twilight, one of the members who was on a lower ebb to the tanks. It's already done its job.
A tough start on Lijiang. 2 wins in a row, largely off the back of Twilight Sombra. Can they make it 3 in a row on Dorado? Let's find out right now.
I'm ready to say that I'm getting it when it comes to the Sombra, the crowd, and the Conbox fans in great voice here.
Uh-oh, there's a fight between the team members of Conbox. Architect took the Sombra away. Just like solo queue. Twilight's like, do it or I'll feed. I'll play Hanzo. Give me back Sombra. They're just like, nah. Look at my profile. He's like, you only have 30 minutes played of Sombra.
But it was a victory.
Okay. Oh, he translocated into the Switch. Ooh. May. Did not expect to see that one.
Whenever you see May on Dorado, you start thinking about Meta Athena and getting excited.
That's true. We're the Haksal of old, where he ran
yes.
a lot of it back then. And even Nanohana playing the May. So it's not as
You
meta
mean
these
flower?
days. Sorry, my bad. I mean FL0 were.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, you know, you think about the old times, we saw a lot more of that. Not really making a big comeback yet, but I like to see it. Nothing really has changed about May to make this not as strong. People just figured it out.
The nerf, of course, was a pretty significant one, but is countered by some of those Anubis Point B and other hijinks where she can be very powerful. And Conbox Spirit, one step away from closing. Minus Gaming looking for a pick, but nothing to be found with the Widowmaker.
Does scout out the exact comp, though, and positioning. So, you know, sometimes you can just get a kill from this, but mostly you get information. He's going to switch over to the McCree. Attack McCree tough to hit uphill here as Architect gets a headshot kill onto Mango. And I'm excited to see him because Genji is incredible. We'll see if he can do the same here on the May. It's normally the, you know, overlap role here between the two, just like we see Haksal playing both when he does play the May.
And also stop choke points, as you see, when it comes to the 2 realistic points of attack for heroes apart from the likes of Genji and Pharah around the side. They know now not to respect her, Genji or Pharah, so this is actually right in the wheelhouse of May.
Certainly so. Twilight just continue to support here as Architect's now up to 50% of that Blizzard. He wanted it for the choke point. Gets the headshot here again, this time onto Envy and Asher. This time with the high ground defense pushing through.
Actually sick from Architect. He actually walled off the window as the drop down came through from Rhinos Gaming. So they get a lot of value here. Suddenly 85% for Architect.
90
towards that Blizzard.
And Asher's going to have the Deadeye as well. This could be a combo here. Could be the Robot Cowboy or Electric Cowboy. I always say that one wrong. Trying to learn you guys Overwatch jargon, but Architect just going to save this for the choke point. He wanted to have it earlier. It looks like he might not get it, but with the rollback here, can definitely look for it. As we see a lot of spray spam. The Wings don't have any ults to push with. They're almost at Earth Shatter.
And they're not really changing their approach. We don't see a Pharah, who of course does so well against the likes of May by just warping the battlefield. It seems like they're continuing to play into the hands of something like the Blizzard. First ultimate finally going to be ticked over for Umte.
They force their way through this choke point now. They do have that Earth Shatter. They're going to look for the back engage, but the Deadeye picks up 2 off screen.
Architect dies swell, but as he dies, gets the Blizzard. Triple kill comes through, like you mentioned. We're watching Asher. No pressure on him whatsoever. Where is the Pharah? Where is the Genji? Where is the pressure? Just a shooting gallery for the McCree.
Yeah, there's no way for them to break through every time they stick their heads through. They get locked in by the Blizzard walls. They're getting headshotted by Asher here. Gamsu nearly at that very important Earth Shatter, and Sleepy Bear with the Surge coming up. He's going to go ahead and drop it down. Opposite-wise, Fury is. The wall knocking everybody out. And blocking the Earth Shatter as well. Umte drops it down into that May wall.
But awkwardly, the ice wall also separated them from the payload. No line of sight. AoE as well, and it is the first point captured by Rhino Gaming.
Expensive to make it happen, but they did get it so well worth it, I'd say. 3:35 left now on the clock. So Architect's only at 50% of the Blizzard. Twilight didn't use Nano earlier, so he has that available.
Blizzard doesn't really have that much value on the streets phase here, unless you can really force out a choke. So that's why you see the swap to the Pharah.
Not going to run Genji, interestingly enough, here. Even with the double support out, wants to use this Pharah high ground instead.
Might change to the Genji on the last point if they get into the plant, but for now, as you say, I'll be focusing on the verticality.
Fury taking a lot of damage trying to approach
also
here.
Swapped over to the Widowmaker, interestingly.
Yeah, he's been trying that a few times here. Can absolutely work out, but it feels kind of gimmicky and risky. Xeobear's just going to drop down with a surge. He doesn't have a lot of energy, actually. This ends up being a fairly weak attack, in fact.
Taken out by Umte, though, so they're down there Reinhardt at minimum.
All right, Asher has this Deadeye, and there's Umte shields blocking him, so he's going to look for a better angle here. Perhaps actually just hide for the angle when they enter this. They're almost just giving this up. I feel like this is unwise, but something they can do is Architect is going to switch. Looks like they're just going to focus on the next step of the defense for the third point.
Launch Gamsu has just swapped onto the Winston.
Hey, this is their opportunity. They get the kill on the Oxo here. They have the Deadeye on the high ground. They want to stop this, as it turns out. They wait till the last moment.
We're watching Asher on McCree. Once again, free hitting. Architect off screen, picks up a double. Now we're seeing him clean up here with a very aggressive defense, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
Alexa Conbox.
Again, one of those kind of tricky back off, then re-enter from the high ground. Surprising Conbox there, getting that kill onto Widowmaker immediately, saving the Deadeye. So they're going to have that for the next push. Still a lot of time for the Wings to work with here.
A lot of time becomes not a lot of time if the next push doesn't work, though. If they've got one serious push or an eco push into a serious push left in them. Shouldn't need to be an eco push. They have 4 ultimates available and soon to be 5.
Yeah, I don't think they're even going to wait for the Deadeye. It's going to take too long. Even though they have the Nano Boost to pair with it, I'd rather see that used on Umte. He can grab that Earth Shatter with just one more swing, basically. This high ground still held here. 80 seconds to go. They're going to have to commit soon. And I like the position of Rhinos Gaming. They're just kind of fanning out here on the high ground.
Conbox own the cart for now, though. They need to find a way to contest and push. One team fight, though, would see them through this phase.
Okay, Asher still has the Deadeye. He gets a stun there, but is picked off by Fury. Envy gets a kill as well. This is the moment for Rhino, I feel, to push this through. They don't even have to use that self-destruct. But Architect doesn't have the blade yet. He's going to have to back off. No ults here for Conbox, and Wings continues the push. 3 on the cart. Fury going to try to just save this to secure the push, and Conbox knows it. They're not even going to step in this time, not even going to do the tricky follow-up stop. They just let it go.
Really nice tactical stuff from Rhinos Gaming to get the high ground and then drop down, so they had positional advantage over the team on the payload. Sure, they weren't pushing it. You get the one pick, take down the fight, and now they're on to a last phase here in Dorado.
Fury.
If they don't full push this, they can't realistically expect to stay in the running for this early spot into Apex Season 3, even though they do have a great chance later on in the tournament.
Yeah, Fury has this ult. It's usually saved for that final pushing power. They could use it for an engagement. There's not much follow-up, unfortunately, whereas Architect has a Nano Blade eventually for the defense.
The positioning's so interesting because you can't just leave Lucio on the cart like you used to because of the decrease in AoE. You get no value from Lucio sitting on a cart. Is the contest coming through?
Okay, there's the Winston Shield immediately trading these self-destructs. Fury goes in, gets the kill onto Oporochi, but will it be enough?
It's 2. Architect, Dragon Blades, just to try and keep something going. 2 kills already. The 2K also gets the mech suit.
But he's all alone here, essentially. Can he continue to make this work? He's eventually knocked down by Baby Diva here. The push continues. They're going to have Nano and Whole Hog. Whole Hog could help push everyone inside so they can secure this point.
One-man army on the attack, not so useful on the defense. They keep pushing, getting closer and closer to this phase. 45 seconds. This is going to be the last push.
Hey, we're going to see that Nano Hog here coming through, but he's not in position to knock everyone off the point. Feels desperate here. Ends up being fairly wasted. Nice hook, though, onto Gamsu.
And the barrier keeps him alive. Gamsu gets out. So crucial there. Architect also picking up the pick onto Mango. Healing suddenly a big problem here as both Aunas are dead. Haven't been able to move this point. We're going to take into overtime very, very soon. 15 seconds left as Rhinos Gaming got 2 down. They've got 3 down.
basically 4 there with the kill onto the mech of Sleepy Bear. Umte trying to do what he can here. He stays alive. Very importantly, but they just can't push it the last mile. Not yet, as everyone's coming to those speedy returns. Twilight actually on the Reaper here. They're stopping Sleepy Bear from getting onto the point. He just barely gets in. There's the kill, though, on the mech. Doesn't connect with the inside, though.
Umte has the ultimate. Needs a big one here. Doesn't get a massive one, but they're still getting picks. Not many members of Conbox. Who's even contesting the payload? I can see Asher in the back line.
Okay, Dragon Blade coming off here. He needs to get back onto the point, though. Architect is dead. Gamsu the only one left alive, and that is not enough. They will get the full push onto that final point there at the last second.
Just get it in overtime, so no time bank established on the side of Rhinos Gaming. Just about stuck the landing. Difficult because they took the kind of measured approach on point B when they got the right positioning, dropped down, won the fight. Didn't have a lot of time bank to deal with on the last phase, but got there in the end and gave themselves at least a fighting chance to stay in the series.
I feel like we are almost undercrediting how good Oxo has been tonight on the DPS, always finding those picks. Some of these moments where Rhinos just can't seal the deal, he comes in, gets a double kill with the Pulse Bomb, has those headshots with the McCree, and that's just that last level step that they need in order to snowball the win in the fight into their favor.
I guess my impression, though, my only criticism for Rhinos is when it comes to things like the rock, paper, scissors of, say, a Pharah comp against a static defense and things like that. It took them a long time to deal with the point A situation. While they eventually got the cap, it could have gone very differently. The ice wall had gone different on the contest right at the end. So still not completely convinced that Rhinos Gaming always have the right tonic compared to someone like Twilight who's already shown us a lot of different speeds on the side of Conbox.
Absolutely. I feel like the Wings definitely are slow to counter. They're almost stuck in the comps they want to use rather than the comps that are suited for the situation, which is unfortunate, but
that comes with experience,
yeah.
That comes with time, being in Apex and having the stability of a long tournament and consistent income will be a big factor for them moving forward if they are to make it through to Apex. Still against the wall in some ways when it comes to this tournament.
Yeah, at least in this winners match. So Oxo going to do this high ground McCree defense, solo range DPS. They're going to have the Zarya. He's going to try to build up enough Graviton to hold in that choke point as they move around the left side. OVERWATCH going to Sonic Arrow to scout.
Well, they pretty much have what they want here. They want to dive, and they're going to see a pretty static defense when it comes to high ground. Yep, they spot out Reinhardt. They actually spot out 5 members there, so they know exactly what's going on.
The alternate way of doing that, of course, the Widowmaker we saw last time just pop up. It's going to be a little bit faster this way.
No attack Sombras just yet to scout, but one day.
Architect already building up quite a bit of meter to 26% with his first poke, and Harass coming out around behind now, at least he wants to.
Down already come through from Rhinos Gaming. Get the positioning on the flankers here. So far, tracking Asher, looking to get in the back line, cause some disruptions. Seems pretty successful.
Does get hit by one Ana attack, but that is it. They're going to get the pick onto Umte, which means no Reinhardt shield, which gives Architect so much room to work with here. Asher as well, as you can see. Once the shield is gone, you just build, you harass, you force everyone away. They can't contest this without the shield anymore. And this is an easy push through that choke point and even around the fountain now.
Not quite claiming the point, but you're right. The moment you have Tracer plus Genji, Tracer plus Pharah, some combination 2 out of 3, you can actually impact positioning, which is what we've seen, even if the complete cap hasn't quite been done yet by Conbox.
That's why sometimes you see with these Sombra attacks, the hack target is the Reinhardt. You want to just eliminate that shield because your comp becomes so much stronger afterwards.
It's back in position, but you do hear the nano boost already down onto the Winston. Gamsu buying a lot of space here to try to push the cart.
See if he actually commits to the Primal Rage once he
got
has
it already.
Dragon Blade is up here. They get the point. They want more, though. They want to actually stagger these spawns. They're going to get a nearly full wipe. Only Fury respawns here first to prevent it.
They make it look easy, and that's what you see. You did not see Rhino Gaming have that second string to the bow. They eventually overwhelmed the Mei, but not with a 5-minute time bank like Conbox Spirit were able to put together. And now you can see Asher, and I imagine Architect already on the aggressions. Architect might actually die in the front line.
We have to really add to this that this wouldn't have been possible to have all those ults that early if the Reinhardt had been
for sure. That's
early.
the pick you want.
Exactly.
You see the Deadeye popped. No targets yet.
Oh, pops down to get OVERWATCH, so 2 kills here for the Wings. To slow down this attack, Architect still alive, looking to build that Dragon Blade again. They have self-destruct, and Sound Barrier going to be up here soon. And actually, really, Twilight's not too far away from that nano boost.
You got to say, there's no dying commitments here, or over-commitments, you would say, from Conbox Spirit. When they die, Primal Rage available, other ults available. They seem to know their limits when they're in formation, so a pick just slows them down.
Yeah, I feel like that almost wasn't even worth it for Oxo here. Here's the Nano Boost. No Dragon Blade, though. Perhaps a missed call out. He's almost going to have it. We'll have it with the Sound Barrier coming up if he wants to use it.
Send defensive ultimates out of a gate, who's already dead, though, so not going to be a big factor just yet. Lucio out of position, because they're going to get this around the corner almost. There is the Graviton Surge from Fury.
Feels a bit early. Doesn't really counter anything here, and they still have the Dragon Blade. They're going to pop the Sound Barrier, actually, though, a bit early, I feel.
Triple
oh
there
my God.
from Asher. Quadra, if you include Architect's kill, that's 4 picks onto Rhinos Gaming.
Nothing matters once you look at that. That was an incredible pulse bomb there. And this is just the mechanical play here. He does eventually get taken out, but this push is nearly complete now on this second point. Going to buy them a lot of time. They just push it through off just a triple pulse bomb. Sound Barrier allowed this to happen, and I feel like that Graviton Surge should have been saved until that big commitment. It was used early, and as you said, no value, no follow-up.
And you have to think about the issue of clumping, because that's what Graviton Surge forces, a clump, but nothing to profit off it, like, for example, the Pulse Bomb, and then they don't even have a clumping tool from Conbox, and yet still get a triple kill with a Pulse Bomb and just a last shot from the Tracer.
They could have waited for the Earth Shatter as well. They didn't have Whole Hog or the Deadeye. You see one Deadeye kill here onto Twilight, which will slow things down. But once he responds, he will have the Nano Boost. We are going to be able to see perhaps the Nano Blade, not with the Sound Barrier because it was used to secure that triple kill. Well, the push continues here. A much better time at this stage of the game for Conbox. Here's the bomb again. It worked really well last time.
They do capture, should have a big time bank advantage, given that Rhinos Gaming will just be reset to the 1 minute.
He's looking for the pick onto Umte if he can, or at least to force him to turn around.
He'll take Mango too, if that's possible.
Yeah, either.
Support or Reinhardt is probably the gold standard.
No one
here.
knows he's there, by the way. He's completely undetected right now. This is going to be huge. He's going to come in for it.
This could be big!
Okay, how many does it get? The Sound Barrier denies it. Architect also killed immediately with a Nano Boost on him. Very important hold here for the Wings. That could have been disastrous.
This time Conbox did actually invest, thinking they were going to get massive reward. It should be a window for them to have a Sound Barrier advantage in the future. But largely clean up here for Rhinos Gaming, and back to the drawing board for Conbox.
Definitely so. Very expensive of a push there. You know, it's really, at the same time they came in, the Sound Barrier countered almost everything, and then Architect was just blown immediately up. It didn't really do anything there. So now they have this is an expensive attack for Conbox, but it cost-effective defense because they really only use the Sound Barrier and the Graviton or the Earth Shatter there. They have Graviton Surge, and they have Nano plus Oxo on the high ground here for the defense.
Credit to Umte, when he does pull off those Earth Shatters, he's got massive value, as we do see the Graviton Surge launched out. No value, though.
Will there be a pairing? Oxo's not actually charging up that Deadeye, as far as I can tell. Architect does get the kill here. There's the Deadeye. Does get Gamsu. Could have gotten him without it, though.
This time they actually end up losing a lot.
Yeah, and it's pushed around this corner. Asher gets the pick here onto Fury. This is looking dangerously snowbally right now as they move forward. Going to stagger these respawns. Getting a pick here onto Envy would be huge. Can he get it? Looks like he's not going to be able to get the kill onto Envy. He says it right afterwards, though.
Lucio trying to contest the payload as the respawns start to come through.
Those respawns are getting staggered so much right now for the Wings. They have a lot of mobile heroes to try to stop this.
Just want to get someone on the cart. If they all died at once, maybe it would have been pushed straight through. Waiting for those respawns. There is the aggressive Sound Barrier used by Conbox. They want to close this out. 1:30 left. They're pushing. They're still pushing as we're off screen. 2 meters 70 left.
Okay, Asher looking for more picks. A Pulse Bomb here. Once more onto Envy. Gets it. Architect with the Dragon Blade. They want to finish this off right now. They've got the wipe, and they will try to force us.
There
they do.
Is.
So much larger of a time bank here for Conbox Spirit.
You gotta say, the big criticism on the side of Rhino Gaming was Fury. We saw one Graviton Surge right at the end of point 2 get nothing. We saw another one either get eaten by the Diva or miss completely. No value from either. And that means, as you say, 2:20 now in the time bank here for Conbox Spirit, and just the solitary minute for Rhinos Gaming.
It feels like Oxo isn't mechanically good enough on the McCree to be the solo DPS here. It feels like if you're going to be running the the Ana, and you're going to have the nano boost, you might as well be running a more dive-oriented composition as is more meta.
But I do love that Architect is like, well, they didn't really have a clean answer to my Mei last time, and sure, we lost the point eventually, but first, got a lot of value out of it. They've only got a minute. The thing about having a minute is, sure, you can peek out, back away, and change to something like a Pharaoh or something to try and profit against the more static defense of Conbox Spirit, but then you're down to 30 seconds, and there's not much time at all.
Oxo did have the Pharaoh highlighted for a second. He's gone back to the Tracer right now, but they're going to scout this immediately, which would be cool if actually the Architect hides the Mei here. It looks like he's not going to, but this will almost certainly be scouted. They're not going to use the Widowmaker for the scout, though, nor the Sonic Arrow, which is a bit disappointing, because actually seeing this is so important. They don't want to waste a single second doing that, I suppose. They're going to find out very soon anyways, and Oxo may switch to that Pharaoh. If he doesn't, I'm worried.
You don't get many liberties when you only have the free minute for pushing in overtime, so we'll be into overtime very soon. Watching Architect hang back. They still are showing respect here. They want to fight in the funnel points where they have the most advantage. Remember, there is a Genji this time, so at least there is one who can potentially profit.
But they just want to go full dive here. Fury going to help out with the bubbles to try to make this happen, but dealing with the Blizzard is going to be an issue
back line
later.
already. So's Envy, but he's down to 9. He's dead already. Going to respawn and only come back right as overtime hits.
It's over-aggressive. Oxo going to be taken out here shortly, you have to imagine, and that's an issue. Okay, they're going to try to turn this around. Umte does get the pick onto Asher. Maybe too aggressively positioned here was the McCree. And he's now actually going to possibly get more, pushing them off this point. Overtime starts in 3. They're going to have to continue this push as far as they can.
Might get the first checkpoint. As you say, it felt like just pushed up too much. Was popping off on the McCree with headshots. So the last second contest. Not quite yet, 0.7 meters left.
They're going to get it. Doesn't really give them any extra time, though. It's really about distance more than checkpoints here as they continue to push. Bear nearly with that important Graviton where you can try to pull everyone off that point to get the wipe to end this push. Asher does get tripled! They didn't see the angle he was coming for there. He has an Anubis, and finally we see the McCree get the value that we were looking for earlier.
Look like he was pushed forward as well to get even better tracking onto those members.
That's it. That's all they needed. 1 nano Deadeye. And boom, the triple.
Not since
baby,
Beta have I seen such a big Deadeye, but damned if it wasn't the difference between the two teams. And now, what looked like it could have been an immense overtime push stopped in its tracks just after the first checkpoint.
And now it feels like for Rhino Gaming Wings, it's sundown.
You should tell that you should be honest to the stream here about your original thoughts as to what was being said by McCree in Korean.
Oh, I thought he said it's. I had heard incorrectly, by the way.
Because we all know it's high noon,
Yeah.
of course, but high noon doesn't really translate to Korean very clearly.
Right. So what actually he says in Korean is it's sundown. But what I was told incorrectly by someone when I was playing in English only, I had to try the Korean client, was that he said it's 12 o'clock.
Very dramatically.
So it's 12 o'clock. It's like only right twice a day. But I quickly learned this was not the case, sadly. All right, let's watch this again. Look at the angle on the high ground here.
He gets pushed off the edge. You can see that's why he got such a sick vantage point, kind of reminiscent of Meta Athena in the last promotion tournaments, going for the Mei boost into a big ultimate. So something about promotion tournaments and Deadeye seems to have a lovely synergy.
Sure. I mean, we're seeing a lot of this kind of popped up into the air ult action with how well Twilight's been able to force those mid-air.
Nothing more than I
EMPs.
love than popped up into the air ult action, Wolf.
You know that's what I'm into. Don't check my search history. Always looking for those highlight clips. All right, so the push here is an easy one for Conbox. They have 2 minutes to work with. They're bringing Architect again on the Genji. Not going to run Twilight on the Ana, going to be on the Zenyatta this time, looking for that really hard push with Gamsu diving in.
Rhinos Gaming also pretty standard lineup here. Let's see if Envy can get a pick. The picks are so crucial. Staggering what at the moment looks like a pretty comfortable push.
There's
Speaking
one.
of picks,
Doesn't actually get the kill though. Yeah. Immediate barrier coming up as the push continues. Architect doesn't have a large ult meter built. And actually will be taken out here. Oxo so accurate on the McCree.
the members of the attack already taken out from Conbox Spirit. So first job done by Rhinos Gaming.
Oxo just unwilling to change back to the Tracer. Just wants to use the McCree because of the map. And, you know, I feel like on the attack, some of the
so much
accuracy
coverage, I feel like, on point A here when you're McCree, between the Reinhardt shield and all the incidental terrain.
Well, on the attack, I feel like his accuracy was really off and he wasn't making it work, but this time, so far, so good. Only 70 seconds left here for Conbox Spirit.
75% on the ult charge. Another big Zenyatta ult would probably allow them to actually stick the push. Architect pretty far away from Dragonblade. The farming game hasn't been working for Conbox Spirit. Maybe need to load up Farmville after this. Twilight finally has the ult.
Okay, gonna look for the pairing here. Architect gonna need to use this to get the Dragonblade to follow forward here. Oxo looking for the kills. He's gonna get multiple here. No! Blocked by the D.Va at the last second.
They got pretty greedy in general. Falls down. Still, they get 2 kills here, but it's 2 for 2. Dragonblade available for Architect. Pops it. And that is going to be the cleanup for Conbox Spirit.
This may just be it. They've got 30 seconds left to make this happen. Too many dead for Wings. They push it through. Lucio's on it. Overwatch coming in. Actually, it's just a bit further toward the checkpoint.
Meters, just move.
This is actually really lucky for the Wings that it actually stops you on the checkpoint. So the Wings get one more defensive setup here. They're going to have to make it happen right now.
Yeah, Sleepy Bear takes out Oxo. It looks like the kills will come through. Just Mango on the point. Mango's dead. So is Rhinos Gaming Wings, and Conbox Spirit, second team into Apex Season 3.
There you have it.
Almost trolled by the waiting phase as you get into the checkpoint, certainly. Got the heartstrings a little bit, but Gamsu can smile. Still a pro gamer, different game from a year and a half ago, but regardless.
They maintain their Apex spot, you know, and this has been the story. They were